Once upon a time, in a small African town, lived a young lady named Amara. She was a vibrant, ambitious woman who loved to express herself through fashion, especially her hair. One day, her friend Inkechi offered her a beautiful, long, and wavy wig that she no longer wore. Amara was excited. It was the perfect accessory for an upcoming party. Unbeknownst to Amara, the wig had a dark history. It belonged to Ankechi's aunt, who had mysteriously disappeared years ago. What Ankechi didn't know either was that the wig had once belonged to a powerful mermaid from the marine kingdom, a mystical being whose magic was bound to the ocean's depths. Amara, oblivious to the dangers, wore the wig to the party. As soon as she put it on, she felt a strange sensation, like a deep pull in her chest. The more she wore the wig, the more she felt drawn to the water, her mind clouded with strange thoughts. At first, it was just a slight feeling of unease, but soon it turned into an overpowering urge to find water, as if the sea was calling her. That night, Amara found herself walking toward a river outside the town. She had no control over her steps, her body moving almost as if guided by some invisible force. She was mesmerized by the sound of the water, her thoughts consumed by the overwhelming urge to dive in. Just as she reached the edge of the river, she felt a hand on her shoulder. Turning around, she saw Pastor Solomon, a wise and compassionate man who had been a spiritual guide to the community. He had been walking home from the church when he saw Amara walking aimlessly toward the river. Amara, what are you doing? Pastor Solomon asked with concern. Before she could respond, she felt her body shudder and the wig seemed to pulse with a strange energy. It was as if something otherworldly was trying to claim her. Her vision blurred and she fell to her knees. Pastor Solomon immediately recognized the danger. He had heard stories of how certain enchanted objects from the marine kingdom could possess people, drawing them to their doom. Without hesitation, he began to pray, calling upon the power of God to break the curse on Amara. As the pastor prayed fervently, a bright light enveloped them both. The wind howled and the sound of water swirled around them. Amara's body trembled, but the grip of the magical force began to loosen. With one final prayer, the wig was wrenched from her head and the pull toward the water vanished. Amara gasped, her mind clearing as the dark cloud lifted. She looked up at Pastor Solomon, tears streaming down her face. Pastor, I don't know what happened. It felt like something was trying to take me. Pastor Solomon smiled gently. You were under the influence of a powerful spirit, but God's grace has saved you. Always remember, not everything that glitters is good for you. Amara, grateful for the pastor's intervention, vowed never to borrow anything without understanding its origins again. And from that day on, she walked in the light, knowing that no matter what came her way, divine protection would always be there.